Hello, welcome to another episode of All Caps. I had to remember the name there. I'm Isaac Anderson, one of your hosts. I'm the author of A Song of Bones in the Garden Maze. I'm joined by my very special co-host, Tim McKay, the author of his book, The Fall of Selvandrea. And we're joined by our most special guest, BK Gibson, the creator of Coldlight Press. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
Hey, gentlemen. I'm doing really well. You guys doing well too?
Yeah. So far, so good. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive.
It's been a particularly good week, I was saying to Isaac earlier. So yeah, lots of book stuff going on, lots of things I can't yet talk tomorrow. Well, yeah, I shouldn't even say that. Anyway, soon I'll be able to talk.
Don't mention that. Don't mention that yet.
Things are good. So yeah. But we're very happy to have you here. We're also very happy. I need to make fun of Matt for a second here. Where Matt has finally been able to make it to a show because we're earlier than usual. So
welcome, Matt. Welcome.
Cheers, Matt.
You and your falcon are both welcome.
And of course, Mike Molman from over at Balding. Yeah, writing a book every month. Yeah, it's starting to look that way, which is kind of a fun feeling. But they're novellas, so I'm kind of cheating.
They don't really count. They're novellas, but still special.
Yeah, it makes me feel fuzzy inside.
Okay, so this is where I have to ask a question. What do you consider a novella versus novelette?
Yeah,
I haven't seen. Novelette is under 30,000 words. Novella is over 30,000 words. And novel is 75 and up.
See, this is the thing. Everyone has different definitions for all of them. I see. The other day I saw
Tim McKay probably has the actual definition.
I feel because I saw a novelette mentioned for the first time in like years just the other day, and I thought, oh wow. So I realized, okay, you've got short stories, which I guess is 5,000 and under. But I've heard short stories considered way longer than that. Novelette seems like it's above that, but lower than 14,000, 15,000. Novella, 15,000 to 40,000. And then you have that weird limbo space where you're not supposed to do anything ever. And then 60,000 and up is novel. That's what I've been told, you know?
Okay. And answer Matt's question, the 115K is tome.
There we go. Yeah. That's 115, 120 above. I don't know. And 171 is what my first book was, definitely in tone.
One of them is Russian novel. One length is called a Russian novel. I'm not sure. That might be 200K and above.
Maybe, yeah.
I saw a diagram somewhere that somebody made up.
Well, so Ben, you've told us before that you've written a lot of novels with your wife in the background. How long are they on average? What do people look forward to?
Well, my wife is never in the background on those novels. We're
I meant that they haven't been published yet.
Oh yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Although for anything like this, she's the introvert half of us, so I guarantee you, I'm the talker if it's ever between the two of us. But yeah, it depends on it depends on the novel. The longest one we did weighed in at 140.
Okay, yeah.
Because that just seemed like it depends on the story you're telling. The shortest we did, so the shortest we have finished is 102.
Okay,
1,000.
yeah, that's a good length.
Yeah, and then I'm one of the ones we're working on right now it's thriller paced, so it's closer to 90K,
yeah,
which feels about right. A lot of it just depends on the story, but also the genre.
Yeah, kind of what I'm wrestling with right now, because I'm taking my first foray into horror after having written more epic fantasy, where I learned very early longer is better. That was the feedback I got very early, and so I made it longer. Whereas this, I'm thinking, this needs to be. I'm going novella, so that makes it a bit easier. There's not too much risk of me going too long. But yeah, exactly. Different genres have different expectations. You kind of have to gauge that. So it adds a whole other aspect to this whole writing thing we do. How does that compare to the length, the requirements of TTRPGs? Because that has to be a very different writing experience.
Oh, of course. There's people who write novel length RPG material. Those people, we call them wrong. because you're especially. So what I do is I write adventures for RPGs, which means it's something that's usable at the table for people who are playing.
Mhm.
That means any extra long wordiness it's actively hindering its actual use. You want to have something. You want to have something. You want to, as best you can, you want to have as little and tight as possible. You want to do very terse, very direct writing, so that you see exactly what you need as you're flipping through the table. There's people's asking questions. You want to have something that's very terse, very direct, but also has evocative little punches too. It's actually a
Yeah.
very different challenge. It's a tech writing challenge as much as a creative writing challenge.
Who's
Yeah,
better,
I
you or
agree.
your wife?
Yeah. Okay.
Good question. Depends on I mean, in honesty, it depends on the scene. It depends on what
Okay.
we actually split a lot of our stuff. She does a lot of the dialogue and characterization work. And I do, there's sometimes when she'll hand over and there's in brackets, insert action scene here.
Huh.
So we have different strengths. We blend a lot. We actually have a pretty good blending of styles, but we definitely have our own strengths. And so that's kind of where we go tossing back and forth.
That's
Okay.
fun.
Do you find it tough then kind of blending that into a seamless whole? I read the prologue to your shepherd story. I believe that's what it is on your blog, and I thought, oh, this is I wouldn't have known. You read that, you would not have known there's two authors, which I find sometimes you read a book by more than one author, and you can very much tell. This was not that for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's good because we tend to switch back and forth a fair bit, and then we heavily edit each other's stuff too. And we're a developmental editor and copy editor and line editor to each other's stuff too. So our voices blend in that respect. Also, we have a lot of the same influences. We have a lot of our same favorite writers. We have a lot of the same favorite styles. We read a lot of the same stuff. So that means we have similar influences too. So we've always blend well.
That's got to be refreshing. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that would be like
as mainly an RPG guy. Is there a certain way you guys develop characters and find their voice?
So it's very dangerous for one thing. Novel writing and RPG writing should, especially RPG running, should never be the same track. There's something nightmarish. I don't know if you've experienced it at an RPG table. The worst thing in the world is the wannabe novelist as a game runner, where he just runs everybody through the story he has in his mind. And it's always he has in his mind. He has this wonderful plan. He has all these wonderful things he has set up. And you are just there to be the audience. And that's
don't you dare do something that's not conforming to the planned story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't do that. But what actually does translate well is a lot of the world building and setup. So a lot of what you're doing when you're setting up a game, you're doing RPG writing, is you want to set up interesting world and interesting situations where adventures can happen. And then you do not want to have in your mind what a protagonist is, because the protagonists are the people who are playing. It's very important not to yank their agency away. Yeah. But you can have villains. You can have the villains with plans. So you don't have plot points, but you have basically you have antagonists and you have antagonist plots. So that kind of goes through. And then that kind of sets up really well when you're starting to plot out a novel. You have that interesting thing happen. So you're thinking, okay, so what is the situation? What does the character do? But then you can cheat uproariously. You can have your protagonist do things that you wouldn't have a player ever do.
Yeah.
And you can have, you can usually come up with solutions that, if not contrived, at least, you can lampshade it. You can have ideas. Everything works out the way you want to. I really love the story that RPGs give you, but the story is what has happened at the table. It's a war story. It is not a story that somebody has planned. And if somebody has planned a story, then you're not really playing a game. You're instead just all sitting around a table, pretending to throw math rocks and then listening to somebody monologue about their story. So there's some dangers there, but also, a lot of the setup and a lot of the world building comes in very handy. It comes very close.
Did you ever, when you were younger, We did this, and it varied depending on, but sometimes at camps, sometimes at school. We would play the game where you'd either add a word or a sentence. It depended on the game, but one person would say one. You start with one word, and you just go around in a circle. Everyone adds just one word, and the story you end up with is always a lot of fun. It's always wildly, stupidly, hilariously, randomly far, far away from where you ever expected it could go, just because everyone's so unique and they add their. I feel like RPGs are just that on massive overdrive, which is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love running it, and that's one of my I love that hobby. I've always enjoyed it, but it is a very different thing from novel writing. It's even though a lot of the setups are the same and a lot of the world building is the same, it's dangerous if you try to make them exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because those stories are a lot of fun, when you're just sitting around with your buddies and drinking way too much caffeine and coming up with it as kids.
Yeah.
But they're also really stupid, and they would not be something you want to publish.
Every once in a while, I meet a novelist who says, "Oh, I came up with this story, playing, D&D with my friends, or playing an RPG around the table, and I turn it into a novel." I'm like, "Are you crazy?" For exactly this reason. It's yeah. So when you write, then I think everyone asks this question, but coming from that perspective, I'm curious. Would you say you two together, you're much more plotters than pantsers?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have almost when we're outlining a novel, we actually have kind of a Socratic dialogue almost, where we have the initial setup, we have the initial inspiration for the story, we know where characters are, but Karen will start coming up with problems, plot points, and say, so how do we solve this? How do we want to do this? And I'll be answering it. We do back and forth. We diagram and we work out all of our novels that way beforehand. We are very much plotters. So we do that back and forth. And of course, you have to improvise. You have to be willing to change things as they go.
Yeah.
Our tendency is to accelerate. So usually the change is, okay, why don't we just pull that in 2 chapters earlier? Let's make it happen. And then you always have to have the faith in yourself to come up with something new, interesting later. You have to have that. But we're definitely plotters versus pantsers.
Well, and you have series too. Like it's not just disconnected books, right? That you've written so far. They're part of one or two.
Yes. So this is it's good. The first two. So Karen wrote her first novel, and I was just like looking over it. That was when we were engaged, so that was a long time ago. Just kind of working on it. Then we wrote our first one together, and there's some back and forth. Those two are standalone novels that will never, ever, ever, ever see the light of day. Completely unusable, but a lot of really good learning. And then we wrote a back and forth novel. That's the 141, The Land of Four Waters. We wrote that one back and forth and had a really good, we at first were trying to do 2 different characters. Me write the male and her write the female and have like a standard back and forth. It worked kind of, but then we massively rewrote it. We had just him as the single protagonist throughout all of it. We, basically we blended a lot of it as it came in. We worked on other things in that. We worked on one other novel in that series. And then, the next one was so each one was a different genre somewhat. And the Valley of Two Rivers, which was going to be the next one, it's sort of a countdown. It's Land of Four Waters, City of Three Lights, Valley of Two Rivers. But we're like, Valley of Two Rivers, we were like, it's a different genre. We're like, this is going to be pastoral romance. And I think because we are happily married, and we've always been happily married, we're not really, like, neither of us are romance writers, and that our relationships have been happy. We're very content in that. We're like, well, we need to grow a little bit and learn a little bit. So we then worked on a series that we have 3 books in that one, and that one's going to be a 5-book series eventually. But we're like, there's too much ask in this one. The world is a little too, it's too much of a jump for some people. So The Shepherd, the one you referenced, is kind of the one we're going to be starting with. That'll be a trilogy. That's epic fantasy trilogy, a bit more traditional because it's kind of a Greek basis. So I mean, it's not orcs and elves, but Greek mythology, everybody kind of has a finger on what Greek mythology is. Everyone kind of knows, it's familiar. It's not it's not like Tolkienian, but at the same time, people know what Greek myth is. If you see a centaur, nobody goes, "What's a centaur?" Well, there's some shorthand there. So that's probably the direction we're going to go now, and that's what. So we also mix. Yeah, Jacob's right. A happily married couple of fantasy heroes would be fun. You just wait, that will come. That comes later in the series. But
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But yeah, so that's she's writing the second book in the series, Stoic, right now. And then I'm also writing another. So what we do is one of us writes and then we swap. We go back and forth. So while she's doing that, I'm writing for the Art Press America 2076 prize. I don't know if you've heard of it. Art Press is one of the fairly new publishers out there.
I've seen them around,
you've seen them around. But they have a let's do an over the top 50 years from now near future thing. The theme is America and 2076. So I was like, all right. Normally what I do is I'll write very short, intense scenes. And it's like you said with epic fantasy, those are often too short. The way I write very terse, very intense. So we've often talked when I do short story or scene stuff. She's like, you can't maintain that kind of intensity for an entire novel. And we're like, well, you know what? Challenge accepted. Let's go over the top. So Oak Ridge is going to be a novel. When I say it's going to be a novel, it is already it's already 65K into the 90. So I'm doing 800 a day. I'm just grinding it.
Nice.
But it's going to be a extremely over the top novel about a 50 years in the future U.S., which has Bigfoots and UFOs in it, as you'd expect, and a portal to hell. And then, of course. I mean, just standard stuff. And then it ends with a full-fledged United States invasion of hell, as is only right and proper.
The thing has, as far as it can go.
The thing has been as over the top as possible, and I've absolutely loved it.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
I write these scenes, and I get like, okay, so how am I going to top this next one? And then I have to top it again. Like, how do I top a Bigfoot jumping off of a truck, holding a mortar, firing offhand at a UFO, while Rocky Top is interspersed with it? I was like, well, there's another scene. We got to do it. So it's been a blast to do that back and forth. But that's, so we go back and forth with that. We'll keep on writing more and more stuff. But for that trilogy we talked about, Stoic, she's started her sprints. She does, and this is interesting because we do very different sets. She does sprint writing. She'll write a novel in about 2 months. And usually when the kids are at school, she's actually doing some preliminary work now where she's only doing it about 1,500 words a day. But when she really gets into it, it's really, really fast. I'm slow and steady grinder. So she's written a few short stories in the meantime, but that's kind of our process. She'll do sprints and then edits, and then I will just do steady grinding every day, just get in the words kind of thing. We have different processes as that.
I imagine that slows down during the summer with kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
So for keeping it steady, then do you have like well, actually now I'm curious because I lean more towards sprint. So I tend to use a few hours before my work day. Usually I don't have to get up too early for that, but I'm curious for both of you then, just how you fit that around life, especially with family. That's like a designated time of day.
I do it during my lunch break at work.
Okay,
and then I will also do it when the kids when the youngest goes to bed. There's usually a chunk between the youngest and the older ones, and I'll usually use that as writing time too. So that's kind of the steady time for me. Karen will often do it. She does it in the middle of the day when the kids are at school, usually. So it's a bit of catch as catch can when it comes to the summertime. But you have life. And I can't imagine myself saying, "Oh man, I wish I'd written more words and not had memories with the kids." I mean, it comes down to the priorities. It's never a single second's doubt which is the top priority. So I'm happy enough with it.
Yeah.
Are you
And-
going to publish all of your books
Hmm.
via Coldlight Press?
So no, the Coldlight Press, it's kind of a wild thing, Wild West. RPG publishing is a little different from novel style publishing. It's a lot more open.
Yeah.
It's a lot more DIY and a lot of how it works. Instead of Amazon, you have Drive-Through RPG,
Mhm.
which is kind of the big monopoly source. But unlike Amazon, they are very easy to work with, very friendly people. They help you with formatting, they help you this, that, and the other. You can go. They are not nearly as harsh about being non-exclusive, so you can do other stuff. You can publish with other sides as well. So that's kind of a different setup. Certainly, anybody who likes my adventures, I'd hope to point them towards what we do publish. And we're not against working with a publisher. We've actually talked to some, because I mean, basically we're not so independent that it's like we have to be indie publishing, but we wouldn't want to work with anybody that made us compromise kind of what we want.
Yeah.
Right. And I say that I mean, if you're an editor and you're saying, we would like to change this, sells better, you listen to editors, but at the same time, I wouldn't want any kind of fundamental changes to our stories because of that, or fundamental work changes to our flow. Just, we want to write what we're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it kind of comes from. And of course, I realize that I'm saying that I was talking about mostly writing fantasy, which is an enormous audience and also a enormous field where discoverability is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, the potential, you guys both know, the audience is huge, but
getting in front of it.
Exactly. It's all saying, hey, it's getting in front of people who I know this is good stuff. I know you'd enjoy reading this book. It's a matter of getting you to read this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess on that front, are there different challenges? I'm thinking, I mean, this goes both ways. Whether you go trad or indie, when you have, in the case of, let's say, this upcoming trilogy, putting something out all at once or spread out, either way comes with. I'm curious if there are challenges you foresee with that. I mean, or just pure advantage. What are the advantages of putting out a whole series, having the whole series ready? And do you plan on, my immediate thought when I hear authors have done that, I'm always really impressed, because I don't have that kind of patience. I'm like, I'll put something out, then I'll put something out after. But my follow-up question is how much would you change after the fact based on, let's say, feedback? Like, if book one gets a certain amount of feedback, how much would that, good and bad, how much would that impact what you put out with 2 and 3? Would you change them significantly first or push forward? Yeah, anyways, it's a rambled question, but you get the idea.
I get the idea. I think you'd stay with the thrust of the story. There's a fundamental there, but if there's little details, I'm not wedded to anything. Goodness gracious, we've both written our million words plus. Like, we have no more darlings to murder. It's fine. Brutalize your stuff. It's fine. We've both written millions of words. It's not an issue. I mean, I have not as done. So Karen has done, probably, on the novels we put out, she's probably done about 80% of the prose writing for the first draft, and then we go in for the secondary. We're kind of swapping that for some of these. But I've also written. My document right now has 150,000 words of reviews, because I review RPG adventures as well. I've done a lot of writing too. Both of us have done it professionally as well. And so at a certain point, you just realize you can't be precious with these things. You just gotta kill them, and it's fine. Listen to some feedback. You can take it as suggestions. It's okay. You're free. I mean, at no point are we ever anything other than free, to do what we want to do with anything we publish. We're not going to get ourselves in a contract that says you verily have to do this X, Y, Z if it's against us. But at the same time, I wouldn't expect a publisher to take enormous risks. So one of the things we've talked about is, some publishers, mid-range publishers, would probably be interested in doing a one-book contract with options. and I'd be fine with that. But then it'd be a story we'd just finish. We'd be
Yeah.
finishing ourselves because that's in there. You just have to think of a few details. There's one thing there's one thing that your book lacked that we do want to have, and that's map.
Mine? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a map.
Yeah.
I do think we want, like, that's one thing like, I'm a big fan of having a map,
Mm.
Early on. So that will stay, that stays firm. And I'm a big fan of starting with a map. That's kind of an RPG side thing, because a lot of the stories are shaped by the geography of wherever you are as people move around. Otherwise, you're in a little bit of a stuck place. You're like stuck into this little room, and if you don't have a clear sense of physical geography, then I feel like the adventure side of things miss. Like, I think Tim, you have a map, right? It's just not with the books.
Yeah.
And so I read your book. And I was like, "Where's the map?"
I get that a lot.
Where'd it go?
And I have thinking for that, but I also really want to do a map too.
Yeah.
I even have 2 options for who I would want to do it. It's just a matter of time and money right now. Yeah. So, yeah,
I'm
it's
just lazy. I have my little doodle for me that wouldn't make sense to anybody else.
Yeah.
But eventually I'll make something nice.
Yeah, I've tinkered around too with what's the main one that everyone uses? There's this map website. I have it on a bookmark somewhere around here.
Map maker.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
There's like Wonder Draft.
Google
There's several of
Maps.
them.
I think Ink something or
Incarnate.
Incarnate.
That's a good one too. I've used it RPG side too. It's
Okay.
pretty easy and usable. It doesn't make incredible maps, but what it does
Yeah.
make is very functional maps that are colorful and they look nice. So if you want to just do it yourself, I can definitely recommend it if you're not looking for good cartographers are good and well worth it. Yeah. But Incarnate is great if you want to do it yourself. It's really easy and really fun to work with too. So
I hated it. I hated every second. But
really,
for whatever reason, I was not liking what was coming out the other side. I was like, my sketches look better than this. I'm going to pass it to someone when I can. But I get I do get it as very useful. So we'll see. And it's something
I would have to sit down with my brother and figure, because it would have to be in universe. So how would the animals in this world draw a map, like with their animal minds? So I have to approach it from that direction. The next Garden Maze will be a little bit easier because it's just idiots making a map with what they have.
Oh, this is funny. Copies of Horses Ultrasound. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can use anything. I use a lot of real world geography for my maps, RPG and novel side. There's no reason not to just take real world geography, move it around. There's always that joke. People are saying, "Hey, this doesn't look realistic," when it's just an upside down map of Europe. That kind of thing.
One. Yeah. I had never seen that until I think last week, and it just floored me. I was dying laughing because all the captions, it was just upside down. So you saw some people in the comments who just didn't get it. They were saying, "This is so unrealistic. Why is it south? Why are the winter people south and the climate?" Anyways, as a joke, honestly, part of the concept in my book of having a more tropical area up north was in response to things like that. It was just to I don't know, make fun of some of the nitpicking that people. I decided to reverse the polarity just for kicks in my world, and that's just a little Easter egg in there.
Yeah, I love South Pole maps. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
Anyways, yeah, and that's the thing with depending on the genre, these are playgrounds that we get to have fun in, and as long as the reader is having fun too, that's key. You're right. You're not just doing it for yourself. It's an experience for whoever's reading it. Maybe some people differ on that opinion, but that's what I go for. I want to create an experience for someone. Otherwise, I don't have to publish it. Otherwise, I can just have it here in front of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a time you're planning on releasing your stuff?
So some of that depends on whether or not we have a publisher who wants certain times, or it's just us. Karen's trying to wrap her first part of Stoic to get it to me at the same time when I toss to her Oak Ridge. So we're back and forthing there, trying to get that done in the next about a month and a half. Which then means, all things going well, we'd be looking at having the third novel in that trilogy done by the end of the year or January. And done in that case means completed manuscript going to some of our wonderful alpha readers for feedback. We have some truly gifted readers and writers who alpha read that stuff for us and who give good, actionable feedback.
It can be hard to find, yeah.
It's really hard to find, and I'm grateful for that. There's some good friends who've done a wonderful job. They have to say a lot less now than they used to, actually, because always it's a learning process. But but then you look at, so if it's looking at just us, we'd be looking at next year, probably in the summer, doing the trilogy release. If we do it ourselves, we'll probably do something like the Aethon model of every 6 weeks for the trilogy. Just bang it out. But even if not, even if not, I always want to say I don't want to publish the first in the trilogy until we can say, hey, we have at least first draft done on the third book, because there's a lot of unfinished fantasy epics in the world.
Yeah,
there are a lot of just trilogy stories, and actually part of that is if a massive coronary hits us both for some reason, or we get hit by a meteor or something, I still want the one story to be satisfying, so I do wrap it up. We do believe in wrapping up and having a satisfying story in every one. I don't want to have an unfinished story. It's just 3 finished stories that kind of go together and tell a bigger story. I want it to be satisfying in the whole set. But I want that promise to be to anybody who buys the book to say, hey, you buy the book, don't worry, this story is done. Don't worry, get this. You can pre-order if you're interested after this one. So there's financial in one sense, it's, hey, there's a sale here. But also in the narratively satisfying sense, I can say, hey, don't worry, we'll tell this story. We're gonna wind all this up. You're gonna have satisfaction and resolution. This is not going to be a Patrick Rothfuss situation, basically, as the promise.
Sure.
So if you don't find a publisher, you'll do it yourselves. What are you looking for in a publisher?
So it depends kind of on what you're working for. We'd want somebody who again, we're not interested in agents or any of the big 5 kind of things, largely because they wouldn't be interested in us. Just because of our background and who we are, I don't think they'd have any interest in anything we do. We'd be looking for something on the small and flexible side, like good people we'd want to work with. There's some people we've talked to actually that they do good, interesting work. They usually do the 50-50 model, if you're familiar with that, which is usually just the publisher takes 50, you take 50, and usually that's and not, a vanity press is something that charges you, which you never want to do. But somebody who also is taking some financial risk because they're paying for cover and formatting, and you'd want them to have some sort of ad budget as well. So it'd be a 2-way street. But at the same time, you want to be mature and you want to be reasonable and realize that it's as much your job to market this as it is theirs. You're looking for a partner in that sense, not somebody who you can just send in your manuscript to and they'll do everything for you. You want to do back and forth, which, some people complain about, some people get irritated by it because the old model certainly required less marketing. But at the same time, the new model publishing is much more acknowledging us as our own agents too. Like authors have, in fact, always had some they've always had some responsibility, not just to create quality product, but also to put it out there and show people, to be excited about it and to share it with other people. My initial adventures were, they got some really good reviews really early, because partly I just worked with some guys and said, hey, this is something you'd be interested in. Would you like to take a look at this? Not like soliciting reviews in that sense, but more like, hey, would you like to take a look at this? And people go, okay, let's take a look at that. Let's look at it. Oh, wow, this is a really good adventure. And so that's kind of how it goes on. But I do all my own marketing for that side. I do all my RPG marketing. And I'm as successful as I want to be with regards to that. I'm not. There are some people, God bless them, who've quit their day job and work in RPG publishing.
Yeah.
That is a lot. That's not something I'm particularly interested in. For one thing, that's usually making in your own systems, not just adventures. You have your own. You have your own world and you have your own RPG systems. I can say I'm kind of consulting on Canon Publishing has something called the Fey Wars, which is modern day elves and orcs invade the modern world as their book series. And I've talked to them. I talked to their chief editor, who's a great guy, John Holmes. And he's like, we're looking at maybe doing an RPG. Could you work with us on how to do this as like a tie-in? I was like, sure. I was able to kind of, I wasn't looking to be hired by them for that. I was actually just I was just saying, hey, this is something I've learned. This is something I've learned. This is something. He's like, stop. Like, he's a really honest, like really good, solid guy. He was like, stop. I want to get you on the consulting side. Let's look at this. I was like, well, sure. I wasn't looking for that, but sure.
Yeah.
Because it's all cheating, but John, I would have said it anyway, just because I like helping people. But anyway, so they were looking, they're looking at, making something new and something different. They have their own setting. And so they have their own system. And so they're selling a system. But when you sell a system, you're selling to 5 people, the game master and his 4 players.
Yeah.
And then if you're building an adventure, it's going to be just one person, the game master, who's going to take it. So there's a different market dynamic. So it's smart to build your own systems in that respect, but it's just not, I've done some of that stuff. It's interesting enough work, but it's just not something I do as, obviously I have different creative priorities and we have different passions. Yeah. Again, it's something you can do, but I can do all kinds of things. Why would I not do something that's fun?
Something I'm curious about, just because of all that. Because you've had enough success on the RPG front, and also you have a lot of practice marketing yourself on that front. So just something you said earlier stuck with me, and then hearing this. Most authors that I meet have a visceral hatred of the marketing side of this, and you hinted at it, or you talked about it. You talked about that most people they would dream of putting all the responsibility on an agent and on a publisher, and then just never looking at their manuscript again. And I think I had a very different background, so I did not come in. I love the marketing side probably too much. It's always a work in progress. I'm not saying I'm good at it. It's just, for whatever weird, bizarre reason, I do enjoy it. And it's kind of, I wish I knew how to better, convey that or share that with authors, or help that spread that passion. Because the thing is, you really do need to have those skills. So do you find, it's too early to tell, but I'm thinking, at the very least, I'm thinking that puts you at a pretty strong advantage right off the bat for diving into putting those novels out there, which is exciting. Makes me look forward. And again, having seen, the sample I already did, I'm excited for these. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, thanks. I am too. And so that's the thing. We just are when it comes down to this, we're always going to be writing. For us, I'll just be honest. For us, the career question is kind of, is this something when the kids are off, when the kids go off, is this something that Karen wants to do full-time and me do part-time? Or is this something, does she want to go back into, she's a gifted tech writer. Does she want to go back into that and let's continue doing part-time? So we're giving it an old college try here to see what it is. But the one thing that I'm absolutely certain at is absolutely nobody knows for certain how to, there's not a secret set of codes to unlock to properly market.
Yeah.
You can have a dog crap book. It can be really, really high on the really, really high on that sales rank because of good marketing, or just because it hit right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can also have brilliant works of genius and beauty that, for whatever reason, somebody tried the best, they did everything right, it just doesn't happen. That's okay. all I can say is we're going to give the best shot at that. You try your best. You show what you can. No matter what, some people are going to enjoy it. No matter what, some people will do that. I'd like to share the stories. And that's what you want to do. That's always what you want to do. And you always have to give it the best. And I think giving it your best, like you said, a lot of authors hate the marketing. But if you hate marketing, there's something you can do. And that is just write. And don't share it. That's what poetry is now. I mean, nobody has a commercial poetry. Karen writes incredible music. She's a gifted pianist. She does all kinds of music, but she has not done any kind of soul sacrificing that would go into actually becoming any kind of music thing, because it's just the juice was not worth the squeeze.
Fair.
Even though you're that. And so if you're an artist type, if you're an introvert, especially, because like I said, I'm the extrovert, so that's one reason why I'm happier with it. If you're an introvert, it's valid. If you want to do that, if you want to just write and create art for its own sake, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
You just have to acknowledge that just like it is perfectly 100% valid to create art for its own sake, it's also perfectly valid. Like, nobody owes, just because art is beautiful, nobody owes you market reward for that.
Yeah.
We grew up thinking that, just because we did good in school, we get all A's. And so that's not how the world works. Nobody owes you any kind of accolades. I know incredible artists, incredible painters who do unbelievable work. They don't make money on it.
Yep.
They just do it as an aside. Artists will create for art's reasons, and that's fine. And that's good. But just don't be surprised if nobody else sees it. Or if it's seen just like beautiful poetry or beautiful music, just seen by your family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's invalid. I'm just saying that that's kind of where it is.
Yeah. Another thing I want to make sure we talk about. So you were talking earlier about feedback and getting good feedback and how it improves the craft. So now I want to talk about you giving feedback, specifically in the contest that you run, which is super interesting to me. So the Adventure Site contest, right? I want to hear about that.
Yeah. So like I said, I've been publishing for about 9 years, adventures. A couple years ago, so I started reviewing other people's adventures just randomly. I just would start to pick up these random freebies. I was always hoping to find something beautiful and good, and 90% of the time it's terrible, but that's okay, because I also occasionally found some really good ones, and I was like, this is good. I want to point other people to it. There's a lot of people who do RPG stuff who've never put a pen to paper and never tried to write an actual adventure. So I started doing an adventure site contest where we'd write small dungeons often, or little chunks of adventure content. Usually just a few pages, but there's a map, there's adventure design, playtesting ideally, where you put it in, you send it in to me and 4 other judges. So there's 4 other people who are legit. Basically, they've been running the game for a long time. They have active blogs, or like a booktuber in one case. Owen Edwards, he's great. But he also does RPG stuff. So all of us judges review, and I won't promise it for all the judges, because holy crap, it's a lot of adventures to review. But I at least always make the promise that I will give a full-fledged review, in-depth review of everybody's adventure who puts it in.
I think I saw it was 30 submissions last time?
It was, yes, over 30 last time. And so,
that's a lot.
Yeah. And the average review, if you want it, the average review clocks in about 1K, if you want to know. Yeah. And then there's the thinking, and you have to, so you give actionable feedback. You want to do it, because I have only improved. I love good reviews on my adventures. It's a high to get a good review. I value the middling reviews more.
Yeah.
I really value most of the reviews that were, I liked this, but this didn't hit. This was bad. The trouble is, a lot of reviews feels bad, man. They don't have, it's just vibes based. They don't know it. So I'm always trying to give actionable stuff in my reviews.
Yeah.
both for those random like crapshoot reviews I do just from the scoops, but also especially for the adventure site reviews, I want to give good, actionable stuff. It's also a writing challenge in that I want to make them entertaining. I want to write entertaining reviews because that's part of it too. But you don't want to take the easy route, which is the easy route for entertainment in reviews is to always pan whatever you're doing. You can write a scathing negative review and have a hoot writing it. It's hilarious. Everybody has fun. Everybody laughs. Nobody learns anything. Yeah. Right. I've done that only a couple times, and it's if I found a random thing that I think it was entirely AI generated like that, then I'll just crack my knuckles and say, nope, I can see what this is. No, because it's fun.
Yeah.
And I'll say mean things. Like I don't mind giving negative feedback, and I don't mind at times being kind of harsh if I can see something that is. Sometimes people have stuff that's really wrong-headed and really bad design, but I'll always also look for something positive, something good, something to work on. And for the negatives, I'll say what can be improved. I'm generally thinking that anybody who puts their stuff into the contest has something that they can do better. And that's always the case. And it's been really exciting. So this is where the fun has been. Publishing actually might be more fun than writing myself. It's been so exciting and so awesome. Like a bunch of these guys had never done adventures before, never published anything before. The top 8 get published in a compilation.
Yeah.
But as is standard, they own the rights to their thing. They own their rights to their adventure. They can expand it however they want. They can republish it. They can do whatever they want. And multiple people have done that. Or they've been inspired to write other stuff, other adventures. They've been, in every case, people have leveled up when they have written this stuff, and it's gotten, they've gotten feedback, they've gotten actionable stuff, and it's been exciting for them. It's really exciting to see that. It's really exciting to see how people wait with anticipation for the reviews, and they get the review and they say, oh, this is terrible. I'm crushed by this part, but this is great. Because some of that is, some of that's hard. Some of it's hard to get negative. It's hard to have that, but we don't grow outside of some negative stuff. Human beings do not grow outside of things that hurt, just as a rule.
No.
But you can do it kindly. And you can do it. You can just say, this was a bad idea. This did not work well, but that's okay. Do better next time. So I'm a real big fan of that. I've really enjoyed those contests, and I've really enjoyed publishing people that have never been published before. Although people who have been published before also can send stuff in and have done well as well. So I just love it. I also like it as a community resource. So in podcasts like this, I often get worried that we talk too much about writers. Because writers.
Writers.
Well, because no writer exists without a reader. And no adventure designer exists without people who grab it and play the adventure. So, as much as it excites me to get all the people enthusiasm, all the ones who have just freshly written this adventure, what excites me the most is people who say, hey, this worked great at my table. I was able to play this. I was able to use this. I also I've been really proud of those adventure site compilations because people use them. I use them. Like I've gotten use out of them, and that means my players have enjoyed them. Other people share them around, other people grab them, and I want to see more of that. I want to see more use in it. I want to see more on that side. I don't think of them in terms of, I don't like to think of them in terms of consumer, even though, economically that it is, but rather somebody to share with and somebody to enjoy it. And that's,
I think I saw these are free or pay what you want on your site, right? Like I think this is the most recent one. This was 2024.
Yes, So adventure sites are free. They're free, and that's the other reason why I give you'll see the licensing in there. That's why there's full rights to whatever they want for anybody who ever puts it in. Because if they want to charge money for this later, that's fine.
Yeah,
they can modify it and do whatever they want. I don't own it. It's for whoever's written it. But I love them as community resources. I love them people grabbing them and saying, "Hey, I've used this," and they played better games and they had fun. Like that's the excitement to me. I really love that.
I think you said as well, submission into the actual contest is free as well, right?
Of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. And the winners, so the winner and the second place person, they get a The winner and the second place person will also get. We have a sponsor, Maurex from the Merciless Merchants. He writes adventures, like big, nice art production adventures, like not the not the more DIY stuff. But he has a huge catalog, and he sponsors the contest by giving away adventures to the winner and to the second place. So it's just really good. I've appreciated what he does there too. And it's just, we're going to continue rolling that. That's something I'm going to do every year, even though it's a lot of work. I love it. It's very rewarding.
No, that's a lot of fun. I mean, that's the thing. It looks like a great operation. Even the compilations themselves have reviews along, so they're actually being picked up alongside, the other RPGs you have on offer. Yeah, I mean, it's great exposure for everyone involved. Kind of like you see every once in a while authors teaming up and putting out anthologies. Really great for everyone involved too. Same concept. Yeah, so really cool. And again, the feedback. I was just I've been part of it twice now, but a writing contest that's all short stories. And kind of same experience as you, where they all get feedback, and it's really fun being on that side of things and giving that feedback. Because especially when you've done like 30 stories, the same thing. I mean, yeah, we had to give nowhere near as long as 1,000 words, but even just probably 200 words, that adds up quickly when you're doing it for 30, 40, 50. I didn't have to give that long feedback for a big chunk of the stories, but by the end of, I think, a month, I had judged something like 300 1,000 word stories, and that adds up very quickly. But you come out the other side. Oh my gosh. I wish I had done that before putting out my story, but I wouldn't have been asked to do it if I hadn't. You get chicken egg situation, but you come out way better at your own craft having done into something like that. So it's really cool that you do this.
No, I've really enjoyed it, and that's true. Like giving these kinds of reviews, giving this kind of experience, it really does help your own work. It really helps to think critically about this kind of thing. That's why we have Karen and I have very polished manuscripts ready to go, because we are constantly giving feedback to each other and rewriting and going back and forth. So we give the full editing experience to each other as well when we're writing novel stuff and short story stuff too. We are always back and forthing and give the complete feedback. And that complete feedback can include, I'm going to highlight all of this, I'm going to hit that backspace key, and we're not looking back. That can be there too.
Yep. Well, so as a final little bit of fun, if you're the perfect person to do this with, so it's great. Are you game for a bit of a game? We have a bit of an RPG ready for you.
All right.
I'm excited.
You're saying he's the perfect person to do this. I'm thinking, oh no, he knows his stuff. Oh no.
Poor Isaac.
So we'll see how this goes.
All right.
So this is a little mini adventure. This is called Sir, This is McLovecraft's little horror adventure story. So a little bit of setup. You are you. We're going to put you in a situation. We're going to see what you do to get out of it. Are you ready?
I'm born ready. Let's go.
Okay. You wake up in this spooky, spooky woods. There's mist everywhere. It's on the ground and the trees. You can't really see very far in front of you, but you look down and you feel something kind of really hot in your hand. You look, and it's this ancient book. And no matter what you do, you can't seem to let go of it. And as you're trying to get rid of this book, a little, what is he? A goblin. A little goblin pops up. He says, hey, you weren't supposed to pick up that book. I know you're in the forest and it's very fun, but you shouldn't have picked up that book. That's a cursed book. But to help you through your little problem here, I have some things I can give you. And he opens up his little jacket. He says, I can give you a stack of blank CDs, a chocolate egg, or 2 spoons.
I'll probably go with the chocolate egg.
Chocolate egg? Okay. So the goblin takes the chocolate egg. He's like, it's warm. And he hands it to you, and you have a chocolate egg and now a little curse book. And then the goblin takes his other things and he scurries away. As this is happening, well, actually, I'll let you decide. What do you want to do now?
Well, I would probably, as you should do in any survival situation, I'll first look for running water.
You look around, you kind of listen, and you hear like owls, you hear crickets, you hear screaming, you hear various curses in the air around you. None of it seems directed at you. You're kind of in the middle of everything. And as you're sitting there listening, you hear a sultry voice come out of the woods, and he says, "Want to get out of here?"
Hmm. So I can determine the direction of the sultry voice.
Right behind you is AI Satan.
Oh dear.
He's standing loud and proud in the woods, and he says, "Hello, welcome to the haunted woods. I see you found a little cursed book. That's a real problem. How would you like to know how to get out of here?"
I'll s- so I know if it's an AI Satan, I know asking for directions from an AI is just automatically a fail.
"Hello, welcome to the haunted forest. I see you
Yes.
found a cursed book. Oh, would you
Exactly.
like to
So
get
yeah,
out?"
you're not going to have any success asking for directions from those things. So I'll actually ask for sources. I'll actually ask curiously. I'll like, yes. Do you know who would know how to get out of here?
AI Satan, he kind of stops, he thinks, and he's like, "You're really clever, aren't you? I'll tell you what. If you answer my 3 riddles, I'll tell you exactly who knows how to get out of here."
What's the downside if I do not answer these riddles?
Uh, AI Satan, he looks at you, he looks at the book, looks at the chocolate egg, he says, "I'll push you down, I'll step on your chocolate egg, and I'll spit on you." In that order.
This all seems very fair. Okay.
You choose to be spit upon by the AI Satan?
I mean, you were looking for fresh water earlier, so might as well.
It is AI spit, so it's even worse than normal spit.
It's true. It's true.
Acid spit.
Okay, you refuse the riddles. AI Satan, he pushes you as hard as he can. It's not very hard because he's not very good at that. He tries to grab your chocolate egg. He kind of misses, and he spits, but he misses that and kind of goes down his chin. He's like, "Ugh." So AI Satan's a little bit embarrassed, and he says, "Fine, you don't need to hear any riddles. It's fine, whatever." And as he stomps away, the weather has changed. The mist is leaving, and you realize you're in a little wooded area next to like a little small town with like little street lamps, little shops, and it's night, and there are people mulling around. What would you like to do now?
I'll go cautiously to the town, making sure I keep my egg very well safe. And the
Yes,
Necronomicon, I'll keep that. I'll keep that in hand too.
it is. That book is starting to make little scratching noises, like there's something inside trying to get out.
Yeah.
As you're walking toward the town, you meet a new person. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
not
I
yet.
got to get my order correct. As you leave the forest, the goblin shows up and he's like, "Wow, AI Satan was really proud of those riddles. I hear him crying. He really wanted to do those riddles. But hey, as a reward for outsmarting him, I have some things for you. Would you like a signed photo of Ronald Lacey, a fresh tub of Play-Doh, or a 14-karat wedding ring?"
If you give me the ring, am I married to you legally?
The goblin snaps his fingers like, "Only if you don't know the twist beforehand. Now it won't work."
All right. Well, I'll take it without the marriage. No
Okay.
offense.
The goblin's a little bit offended because he really wanted to marry you. So he hands over the gold carrot. He takes his little picture of Ronald Lacey. Like, "You should have grabbed this one." The guy melted in Indiana Jones, and he takes the Play-Doh and he goes away.
Yep.
Um, as you have your chocolate egg and your gold carrot diamond, another person walks up to you from the street, and it's Chester Steinway. He walks up and he's like, "Are you the one who made Satan cry?"
I say, no, I think he made himself cry. I think he was just being too ambitious. It's sad for him.
That is his failing. I understand that you have a little curse situation. I might be able to help you out for a small price. I happen to know how to take care of this. And I am not AI. I was actually drawn by an actual person. I'm not sure who though. Someone on Google.
Ah,
Jeez.
so you're GIS, Satan. That's always more trustworthy.
No,
How does
Chester Steinway.
all right, Mr. Steinway? How do you get rid of curses?
Well, first I take payment. He kind of does this with his little tentacle fingers.
Ah, and what do you ask for from payment? I imagine it
He
depends on the
says,
curse.
in my heart of hearts, I really, really, really like to say I Satan happy. And you made him sad with his little riddle situation. So if I could get a handwritten apology, maybe done in AI, for AI Satan, I might tell you how to lift the curse.
So you want a handwritten apology for that.
Yes.
And that's the payment you're looking for. Really?
I would accept this.
Yeah. You sure he wouldn't be happy because of chocolate? That often helps.
He can't eat. He's tried. It's very bad.
Well, that's even sadder.
Life without
It is.
chocolate.
We really wish he would leave town. Honestly, he's a major downer. He keeps trying to trick people and doing riddles, and he's not very good at the riddles. And so it's just a sad situation, really. I mean,
well, I'll tell you what. Give me a pen here and some piece of paper.
Okay, hand you a pen and paper.
All right. I say.
Paper feels very warm, though.
Oh, is this paper human skin? Again?
No. It's just pure pulp.
Okay, that's good. So I will. I'll write. I'm so sorry you're not able to eat chocolate. That makes me sad for you. And then I'll sign that goblin and toss it to him.
Okay. So he looks at you and I think this is make AI Satan's day, or it could crush his spirit because you reminded him about his chocolate problem. He's like, fine. He puts that in a little suit coat, like I think that'll help me out later. He says, the trick about that book, the only way for you to let go of it is for someone else to freely take it, and that someone has to want it. And I think there's only one person desperate enough in this town to actually want that, and he's over there at that establishment at the Mick Lovecrafts. So if you go over there, I think you'll find someone who can help you.
Certainly. Are you sure you don't want it though? It's kind of warm.
No. I'm more than happy with this little piece of paper you've signed the goblin's name on.
Yes, I figured you would be. All right. Well, have a good day.
Cool. So
Yep.
Chester Steinway goes away, and you're approached again by the goblin. He says, "Hey, man, I'm feeling really strange lately. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I have some more things for you. I'm not sure why I'm bringing you things, but here's some more things for you." He opens up his jacket. He's like, I can give you a vape, a Zen, or a Cruella de Vil cigarette. You know, the kind of the really long thing. He kind of really doesn't want you to take the Cruella de Vil cigarette. He kind of wants that himself.
I was like, why are you giving me any of these things?
I don't know. I feel compelled. To give people things at intervals.
You know, tell you what, gonna have that CDC, the Cruella de Vil cigarette there.
The goblin says, I'm compelled to do so. He gives it to you, and his hand's shaking, and he gives you the cigarette. He's like, I don't know. Why do I feel so strange?
Like, hey, wait a minute, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not compelled at all. Have a cigarette, man.
He picks up the cigarette. He's like, you want me to smoke this?
I mean, it's up to you. It's whatever you want.
How badly do you want me to smoke this?
I'd probably keep it. I've seen this area. You know, tobacco is great for parasites. You probably want to keep it medically.
Okay, the goblin, he looks at the cigarette. He starts to put it in his mouth. He says, okay. How badly do you want me to... I have to do what you say. How badly do you want me to smoke this?
All right. You were compelled to do what I say?
Yes.
Mr. Goblin, sir?
To an extent.
Make healthy choices and try to live a happier life here, buddy.
His head explodes and blood flies everywhere.
Oh, well.
The goblin's body collapses on the street and goes into the gutter, and he's gone. You've done the one thing he cannot do. You've killed the goblin. Now I need a new little imp helper for future stories now. The goblin is dead.
So now I have a vape and some Zen. And
you have everything.
Cigarette.
You have the vape, you have the Zen, you have Cruella de Vil, you have an old thing of popcorn, you have what other adventures did he have? He had, I think, there's a dog. A dog crawls out of his corpse because he ate the dog in the previous adventure, and the dog is alive, and you have all these things now.
Awesome. So I feel like I'm winning here, although I'm sorry for the little guy, and on we go.
Okay, so you are at McLovecraft's, and you're at the kind of the drive-through window, and through the drive-through window, you see this man. Brundon. He's saving the day, one ketchup packet at a time. And he kind of looks at you through the window and he says, "Welcome to McLovecrafts. What can I do for you this evening, sir?"
I'll say, "Hey, are your hands cold?"
He says, "Dude, I haven't." He holds up his hands and he's got those really sad, like dentist gloves. He's like, "My hands are wrinkled to heck, man. I don't want to think about my hands right now." And he smells and he's like, "You smell like that goblin guy. Why do you smell so much like that goblin guy?
Oh, sorry.
He's not allowed in this restaurant."
Yeah, he exploded all over me. Happens all the time, you know. Hey,
It's
say,
about time someone did that.
would you like this book?
That book?
Yeah.
He looks at the book. He's like, "Why? Tell me about it. What is it?"
It's warm and makes scritching sounds sometimes.
Hmm.
And if you carry it, you meet interesting people.
Brundon, he thinks about that. He's like, "I don't know. My manager says I'm only allowed to accept like money from people. Last time I accepted a mouse one time and he hit me with a broom and he wouldn't stop hitting me with the broom until he was done hitting me with the broom."
I get
5
it.
minutes of broom hitting.
Yeah, don't worry, man. I'm just offering this to you as it's not a tip. I understand there's strict rules at McLovecrafts. Don't worry about it, man. Just if you'd like it.
Oh. Brundon looks at it. He thinks about his evenings like nothing's happened. It's 3 a.m. That goblin guy has been through the drive-thru 4 times, buying nothing each time. He's happy here. He's dead. So he's kind of in a good mood. He says, "Okay, yeah, this seems like a good break from normal." He reaches out his hand to take the book.
And I hand him the book and I said, I really hope this gives you a more interesting life, Brundon.
He says, "Thank you." He picks up the book, and as the moment he touches the book, it flies open, and like a little skitter spider crawls on Brundon's hand, bites his wrist. Brundon screams, falls backward, lands in a broom. That broom hits him, and he's out cold. But now he has a new spider friend to be his friend forever. So you have successfully lifted the curse from yourself. And usually at this time, a goblin would be along to exit you from the story. But since that can't happen now, you kind of stand there awkwardly. You look at Brundon's little body and I don't know. What do you want to do at this point?
All right. I guess this is my town now.
This is your town now. You have become mayor of town by slaying Brundon and the goblin and defeating AI Satan. This has been our most successful run through any adventure ever. Thank you for playing. Welcome to McLovecrafts.
There we go.
Yeah, definitely a record for most successful coming out the other side.
Usually people die.
Yeah, it's been a lot of death on this show. It's not our strongest.
So I'm sorry. AI Satan, is that IA? Is that actually IA?
That was it. It was Satan? Al Satan. It was Al Satan. Oh,
no, what I mean is
the poor guy.
I'm just saying, is it Isaac Anderson? Is that the actual? Is that what it stands for? Did you have riddles that you need to tell everybody?
No, I'm IA.
Missed opportunity.
Well, it's backwards. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's backwards.
Anderson, Isaac. There you are.
There you go. There you go. Well, I did play AI Satan, and I did find him online.
Well, there
I
you go.
Googled for Satan images. It was all AI stuff. Yeah. I tried to find a real one. I was like, I'll just use the AI one because it looks strange enough.
Oh, see, that's actually a quick tip for anybody who looks like AI art is always very, very wonky and it looks a little off and weird, which is exactly why it's great for monsters, for quick monster stuff. Because if you want something that's uncanny and just off and looks a little bit wrong, AI does a really good job at that.
It'll do.
That's fair. Yeah.
You want something that looks soulless and weird, the AI will have you covered.
I also just died laughing when I saw first that picture and then the caption initially, just about burning trees. Because I'm like, using AI systems, just asking a question. Yeah, it uses a good amount of computational power, but so does just about everything else on the planet right now.
I would like to know exactly how many trees I'm burning down every time I do it. I'd like to know the number.
The biggest thing for me is just remember how much water it takes to cool all those systems.
Right. Yeah.
You know, everybody. This is going to
Because
date
water,
the show.
once you use it, it's gone forever. It never
Well,
comes again.
well, it's expensive for the companies. The
Mm.
companies have huge utility bills. It's going to date the show somewhat, but everybody did have this. Last week they had this. Hey Grok, what are my X number of followers
Oh
by
my God.
interactions? That everybody got tagged in, and that one little game cost XAI so much money.
Oh,
That little
man.
quirky
funny,
game that
yeah.
everybody was having fun of. One of my degrees is in electrical engineering, so I'm always thinking, you know, whenever I see those things, I don't think of cloud, I don't think of magic. I think of, okay, no, there is a lot of CPUs using a ton of power and a ton of water here for cooling. All of these little fun games are doing. There's so much money that just got spent on that.
Did you get caught in a bunch of those
Yeah.
at all? Or? Yeah.
Yes, because I like a lot of mutuals posts.
Fair.
As well, you should. Everybody should do that. They
Yeah.
are free. It is
Yes.
free to hit the little like button. And, you know, you could like what they're saying. You could like them as a person. You could accidentally be fat fingering. They will never know.
Mhm.
But it gives their day a little brighter. So why not like your friends' posts?
I like seeing that little number with the hearts go up. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little dopamine hit.
Yep. Just sharing dopamine. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. And then it just kept happening and happening. So yeah, you could slowly see the white popping up as everyone was leaving the conversations as quickly as they could to get out. Oh man, yeah, that was, yeah. I sometimes that's the one thing on social media. You see a lot of, it's not just that. I find in the author community, there's a lot of taking mutuals for different reasons. So often it's meant to support, and some of it's good support. But then sometimes it's. I'm trying to think of a really good example of one that happened recently. I was just like, I'm just not interested in that. So thanks for the mention, but have a nice life. You know, like don't do this to me. I don't need the notifications. Oh man, but it's all in good fun, and we're all helping the algorithm know that we exist, I guess.
I mean, that's at least that's kind of the magic rain dance, I guess everybody's doing. They just figure, hey, this helps.
Yeah, no, I'm fine without it. Thanks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody knows for sure, but hey, if people have fun, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man. Well, hey, I mean, this was a heck of a lot of fun. And hey, we kept it under an hour and a half. That's not a record for us, but we're celebrating, you know. Yeah, but I mean, thank you so much for coming on. We have all of your links underneath on YouTube, but is there anything you kind of want to share right now? What's in the works?
What books are you reading? What RPGs do you recommend?
Oh yeah. So if you want, I guess books reading right now, I actually picked up something called Pogue One. It's an anthology from Coldlight Press. It's military sci-fi short stories about people who are not frontline infantry or the space marine or the pilot or anything else. It's talking about logistics guys or the IT guys or the medical scrub. I thought that was a great idea for an anthology.
That is fun.
I've really enjoyed that. I'm going through the short stories right now. I've really been enjoying that. So just random pickup, but that was a fun little story. I really like that idea. I like mil sci-fi that isn't focusing just on the frontline guys. It's also just like, hey, this is a bunch of professional people they live life too. So that's been fun. RPGs. I mean, I play. If you get the chance, you can check things out usually for free. My advice for anybody who does anything on the RPG side or doesn't is play more games. Try it out. If you can find people in person, I really do think that's the best way to do it. But online, there are so many ways to play online too. Just go out there and play more games, and that's really rewarding. It's really fun.
Fair.
Very cool.
Ithra here. Cinepum has her classic question on all the streams. Audiobook plans, or is that
She loves when people read to her. That's her favorite.
Yeah, that's also, that's kind of you talk about publisher costs, because that's something that we'd be thinking of. I have done enough audio editing of my own stuff, for training videos and stuff at work, to know that I absolutely do not want to do it in any kind of that length.
It's a lot of work.
It is. Some people love it. God bless them. I mean, you do. Wow. I'm glad you enjoy it, because that is not something that I enjoy myself. So
Well, I get it. I
yeah.
get why people would hate it. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. I got hit at some point or something, because I
Well,
don't know.
good for you for enjoying it, but yeah. So it'd be definitely a question. But
Yeah.
our middle son really loves audiobooks. It's I don't. It's kind of funny. I don't. I
Yeah, I get it.
I find it a very low, probably because I read really, really fast. I just always found it. I always got impatient with audiobooks. I always I always found them slow compared to just reading stuff.
Yeah.
But seeing him really, really enjoy them has just kind of opened my eyes to him a lot more.
Fair.
So
Yeah, I'm
definitely
listening to
want
one
add
right
him.
now on 1.4 speed, which I never thought I would do, but I have to, or I can't enjoy it.
Mhm.
And I think that varies by narrator too, though. Some narrators go a lot faster, but even then, yeah, I'm with you. I tend to read fast. So yeah. Oh, hey, well, hey, yeah, thanks again for coming on, and have an awesome night, and thank you so much. And we've got your links, so everyone go give BK Gibson on Twitter a like and a
Yeah.
follow. And
Yeah. Follow and look, and I'm probably going to be putting out the call. I'll be putting out reminders, but the next adventure site contest is going to be in November. So
okay,
that's
yeah.
when I'll be putting that out. Again, I do it every single year. I love it. So you'll see stuff there.
Yeah,
But
hit
yeah,
us. I mean, I'll keep an eye out regardless, but hit us up. We'll make sure to give it a boost at the very least.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and congratulations on 100, by the way.
True. Yeah.
100. Are we over 100 yet? 101?
101, it looks like.
Oh, yes.
Hey.
That's good.
Yeah. Usually after every chat like this, we jump up a little, so that's awesome. Yeah. So everybody, thank you so much to all our subscribers, and please, yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free. But yeah, we just hit 100. That's a nice little milestone. So cheers to everyone for following us along on our awesome little book chats here with all our author friends and RPG friends. And
Bats, you're too late. You're too late, Bats. We're ending. You got to catch the replay, Bats.
Yeah, come on, Bats. Oh man. All right, well, yeah, thanks again, and we will see you all next time. So yeah, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And cheers everybody. Have an awesome night.
Yeah, Tim, Isaac, thanks guys.